name is Neha Ranglani. Neha Ranglani is an integrative nutritionist and health coach with 15 years of experience. She has assisted over 40,000 individuals worldwide in achieving self-sufficiency in health and taking control of their well-being. She holds the belief that our body possesses an inherent capacity to self-heal, provided it is nourished with appropriate raw materials encompassing nutrition, thoughts, emotions, and actions. Neha specializes in guiding individuals towards natural solutions to reverse health challenges like obesity, diabetes, thyroid issues, PCOS, infertility, and other health concerns. In under 3 years, she is also an author to many successful books. So, over to you, Nehaji.
Thank you, Nilesh. Thank you for the introduction. Thank you, Rashmi and Scleroderma India, for giving me this opportunity today. And good evening, everybody, whoever is here, sparing your time on a Sunday to attend this for your own health or for your family members' health. It's really appreciable. I will quickly share my presentation. Okay. So I was listening to Dr. Kaushik, and I was very impressed with the points that he spoke, the research articles that he stated, and a couple of things that he mentioned there. I first want to just start explaining scleroderma from a nutritionist perspective, and how we can take care of our food, of our diet, and how we can reduce, like how he rightly said, scleroderma is not something that can be reversed. Not yet, maybe to certain degrees, but full remission is something that is difficult to achieve. But yes, early diagnosis, appropriate management, and taking the right care of your lifestyle, of your diet, the way you eat, the way you treat your body can slow down the advancement of the symptoms and definitely give you some respite in this condition. So, scleroderma, like we all know, is an autoimmune condition that is characterized by tightening and hardening of our skin, connective tissues, externally and internally, systemically, and it can affect organs like our lung, heart, kidneys, digestive system. What are the causes of scleroderma? Now, autoimmune condition, हम सबको लगता है ऑटोइम्यून कंडीशन एक ऐसी चीज है जो हमारे इम्यून सेल्स हमारी बॉडी के खिलाफ हो गए हैं. Well, that is right to a certain extent, but that's not the way to put it, because आपकी बॉडी में इतना विजडम है और आपकी बॉडी कॉन्स्टेंटली एक इक्विलिब्रियम स्टेट में सर्वाइव करना चाहती है, एक बैलेंस्ड स्टेट में सर्वाइव करना चाहती है. एंड एट नो पॉइंट इज योर बॉडी गोइंग टू reject its own cells, is not going to become an enemy to itself inside. The only reason why autoimmune conditions, be it any autoimmune conditions, come in our body is because हमारी बॉडी में कुछ चीजें बहुत लंबे समय तक हुई हैं, जिस वजह से हमारी बॉडी का इम्यून सिस्टम है जो वो एक हाइपर विजिलेंस में चला गया है. हाइपर विजिलेंस मीन्स, अगर आपके लेट मी गिव यू अ वेरी सिंपल एनालॉजी. अगर आपके घर पे 2 बार चोरी हुई है या 3 बार चोरी हुई है, तो आप चौथी बार इतने हाइपर विजिलेंट हो जाएंगे कि आपको रात को नींद ही नहीं आएगी ये सोच के कि वापस ना हो जाए, वापस ना हो जाए. सो व्हाट हैपेंस विद आवर इम्यून सिस्टम इज इट्स ऑब्वियसली helping us keep away all the things that are going to damage us, all the pathogens, toxins, anything that is not good for our body. हमारा immune system उससे help करता है deal करने में. बट जब हमारे बॉडी में कॉन्स्टेंटली एक स्टेट आ जाता है जहां पे ऐसी चीजें आती जा रही है अंदर जो हमारी बॉडी नहीं डील कर पा रही है, एक पॉइंट के बाद हमारा इम्यून सिस्टम हाइपर विजिलेंट होके हमारे ही सेल्स को अटैक करने लगता है. नॉट बिकॉज उसे हमारे सेल्स को अटैक करना है, इट इज बिकॉज हमारी बॉडी में कुछ ऐसी चीजें हैं जिस वजह से वो इतना ज्यादा हो गई है हमारी बॉडी में, दैट आर इम्यून सेल्स आर अटैकिंग our own organs in the pursuit of getting rid of the things which are excess in our body which don't need to be. So कुछ लोगों में तो genetics की वजह से होता है, but major population today is having autoimmune conditions because of crap food, the kind of food that we are eating. आज आजकल हम अगर अगर देखें तो बहुत सारा खाना खाना भी नहीं है, इट्स फूडलेस फूड, बिकॉज उस खाने में इतने केमिकल्स होते हैं, इतने प्रिजर्वेटिव्स होते हैं, इतना कलर होता है, इतनी सारी चीजें होती है जो हमारे गट के लिए, हमारी बॉडी के लिए बिल्कुल अच्छा नहीं है। तो उस वजह से हमारे इम्यून सिस्टम को ऑलवेज विजिलेंट रहना पड़ता है। टॉक्सिन्स, इंटरनल एंड एक्सटर्नल टॉक्सिन्स, ऑब्वियसली हमारी बॉडी में मेटाबॉलिकली जब हम हमारे सेल्स मेटाबॉलिज्म एक हमारे सेल्स का होता है, या जो मेटाबोलाइज हम करते हैं हमारी बॉडी में, एक इंटरनल टॉक्सिन्स प्रोड्यूस होते हैं जो हमारी बॉडी डिटॉक्स कर पाती है। बट अगर हम वो नहीं कर पाते हैं ठीक से, हमारी बॉडी अगर डिटॉक्स नहीं कर पा रही है, या हमारा डिटॉक्सिफिकेशन से ज्यादा हमारा टॉक्सिन प्रोडक्शन है या टॉक्सिन इनटेक है एक्सटर्नली, जैसे कि आप जैसे मैंने कहा, जो हम खाना खाते हैं, द फूड वी ईट हैज अ लॉट ऑफ टॉक्सिन्स इन इट बिकॉज ऑफ द केमिकल्स, synthetic chemicals and lab grown chemicals which are going in the food. ऑल्सो जो ब्यूटी प्रोडक्ट्स हम यूज करते हैं, जो हम अपने स्किन पे लगाते हैं, जो हम अपने बॉडी पे लगाते हैं, फॉर दैट मैटर जो डिटर्जेंट्स हम यूज करते हैं, जैसे हम जो केमिकली बेस्ड डिटर्जेंट्स यूज करते हैं, फॉर ऑल्सो योर डिश वॉशर्स, ये सब चीजों में ना बहुत सारे केमिकल्स आने लग गए हैं अभी। तो हमारी बॉडी में जो टॉक्सिन इनटेक है या टॉक्सिन प्रोडक्शन है इज हायर देन what our body can detoxify. So because of that, the immune system can go into hypervigilance. Stress एक दूसरा फैक्टर है जो बहुत ज्यादा इम्यून सिस्टम को सप्रेस कर देता है, एंड हमारा इम्यून सिस्टम काम नहीं कर पाता है बिकॉज कॉर्टिसोल इन एक्सेस कैन लिटरली शट डाउन योर बॉडी सिस्टम्स एंड कैन डैमेज योर बॉडी सिस्टम्स. So stress is another factor. Unmanaged stress, something like overthinking, not being able to process your थॉट्स, इमोशंस, या कोई एपिसोड या ट्रॉमा आपकी लाइफ में हुआ है जिससे आप नहीं डील कर पाए हैं, या आप बहुत ज्यादा होल्ड ऑन करके बैठे हैं, ग्रजेस, रिजेंटमेंट, एंड यू आर नॉट एबल टू लेट गो, that is a constant state of stress for your body because your mind is constantly in a state of negative space when it comes to thoughts, emotions, and आपकी बॉडी में वही नेगेटिव केमिकल्स, वही I wouldn't say negative, but the chemicals which are not good for our system are always higher. So because of that our body हमारे इम्यून सिस्टम पे ज्यादा लोड पड़ता है. इन्फेक्शंस एंड वायरल लोड, जैसे वायरल कांस्टेंट वायरल इन्फेक्शंस, आपको से ईबी ईबीवी वायरस हुआ हो, या कोई भी वायरस आपकी बॉडी में है जो आपकी बॉडी नहीं डिटॉक्सिफाई कर पा रही है, नहीं उसको किल कर पा रही है, या उसको कंट्रोल में नहीं ला पा रही है, एंड दैट वायरल लोड simmers in your body slowly and steadily, and then your immune system is constantly trying to kill that, but उसको किल करने के वजह से, उसको किल करने के चक्कर में आपकी बॉडी के खुद के सेल्स डैमेज होने लग जाते हैं. ऑल्सो जब इन्फेक्शन एंड वायरल लोड होता है, हम बहुत ज्यादा एंटीबायोटिक्स लेते हैं, हम बहुत सारे मेडिकेशंस खाते हैं जो हमारे गट हेल्थ को डैमेज करता है. एंड ऑल द अबव थिंग्स दैट आई स्पोक अबाउट, फ्रॉम योर क्रैप फूड, टॉक्सिन्स, स्ट्रेस, इन्फेक्शंस, एवरीथिंग डैमेजेस योर गट हेल्थ. सो आपका अगर गट हेल्थ पुअर है तो ऑब्वियसली आपको आपके न्यूट्रिएंट्स अब्सॉर्ब नहीं होंगे, आप आप प्रोसेस नहीं कर पाएंगे जो आप खा रहे हैं. एंड देयर आर ट्रिलियंस ऑफ bacteria and microbes in our gut, especially in our large intestine, and if we are not taking care of that, तो वहां से भी बहुत टॉक्सिन्स प्रोड्यूस होते हैं और हमारी बॉडी में इन्फ्लेमेशन हो जाता है. And that is the base, and that is the most important thing when it comes to nutrition for Scleroderma. What we need to do is we need to take care of the inflammation. Now inflammation is basically आपकी बॉडी का वो सर्वाइवल मैकेनिज्म है, जब अंदर आपकी बॉडी में, जैसे अगर आपको यहाँ पे चोट लग गई हाथ पे, ठीक है, तो आपकी बॉडी यहाँ पे ज्यादा ब्लड आपके वाइट ब्लड सेल्स भेज देगी, बहुत सारे रिपेयर एंड हीलिंग के लिए ब्लड यहाँ पे जमा हो जाएगा. सो देयर बी अ स्वेलिंग, देयर बी इन्फ्लेमेशन, देयर बी it will become tender and soft, and that is basic inflammation. But अगर हम इस inflammation को, अगर हम इस चोट को हाथ लगाते रहे constantly and we do not allow it to heal and allow the wound to get okay, then the inflammation gets worse and worse and worse, and the wound gets worse. सिमिलरली दिस हैपेंस इन आवर बॉडी, जब हम कुछ भी लेते हैं अंदर जो हमारी बॉडी के लिए अच्छा नहीं है, या बॉडी में कुछ भी ऐसा हो रहा है, जैसे मैंने कहा टॉक्सिन्स है, क्रैप फूड है, स्ट्रेस है, एक्सेस स्ट्रेस हार्मोन्स है, सो हमारी बॉडी में अंदर एक कांस्टेंट स्टेट ऑफ इन्फ्लेमेशन होता है, बिकॉज हमारा इम्यून सेल साइटोकाइंस रिलीज करता है जो इन चीजों से हमें डील करने में मदद करता है एंड हेल्प्स टू रिपेयर आवर बॉडी. बट if it's all gone and the inflammation comes down, then you are in a healthy state and your body can heal and repair and recover. Similarly, because of scleroderma, because already आपका immune system इतना hypervigilance में चला गया है, and for whatever reason, because it's very subjective कि आपको क्यों autoimmune condition हुआ है, because it's no one size fits all. किसी को भी एक चीज की वजह से ऑटो इम्यून नहीं होता है. देयर आर लॉट ऑफ फैक्टर्स विच प्ले अ रोल एज वी सो आपको किस वजह से हुआ है, एंड इफ यू एक्चुअली स्टार्ट टेकिंग केयर ऑफ योर लाइफस्टाइल एंड योर डाइट and your thoughts and emotions, you can heal a lot of the inflammation inside. You can reduce it, and then आपके symptoms भी better हो जाएंगे. So inflammation, like I said, is causing tissue damage and fibrosis. Like at a low level, inflammation is good to protect us, but when it's chronic and constant, then it starts damaging our tissue, and it starts attacking our healthy cells, and then there's a cascade of inflammatory responses. मतलब वो चलता ही रहता है और आप वो विशियस साइकिल में आप इन्फ्लेमेशन के आप स्टक हो जाते हैं. एंड मल्टीपल सिस्टेमिक स्क्लेरोसिस जो अंदर हमारे ऑर्गन्स में होता है, जो बिकॉज ऑफ the autoimmunity or the immune cells going completely in a hyperactive state, the immune system stimulates the collagen production producing cells. It increases the collagen producing cells, which causes inflammation and buildup of collagen, जिस वजह से हमारे अंदर के organs भी hardened होने लग जाते हैं and they don't work well, and that again leads to an increased state of inflammation. So inflammation causes the the hardening of the tissues, and then or already autoimmune की वजह से there's excess collagen building which is causing more inflammation, and then this whole cycle continues and we are put in a state of absolute debilitating symptoms in certain cases. What are the symptoms that we see in scleroderma patients? Fatigue, tiredness, obviously, because the body is going through so much inside. There's digestive distress because of, and because आपका organs अब एक तो because of autoimmunity, and there is a certain level of damage to your organs, and for some people, some scleroderma patients, in fact most of them, the digestive system is highly affected. So heartburn होता है, bloating होता है, nutrient deficiencies होते हैं. Obviously heartburn is because your body is not able to process the food. The esophageal valve is not closing well. So even if you do not have very high stomach acid, you probably have chances of the esophageal valve not closing well and the food regurgitating into your esophagus, which can give you a lot of discomfort in your chest. And our digestion starts from our mouth. तो जैसे आप च्यू करते हैं, कितना कामली आप खाते हैं, आर यू ब्रीदिंग बिफोर ईटिंग, आर यू टेकिंग टाइम टू च्यू योर फूड वेल, या फिर जल्दी जल्दी में खा रहे हो, या बहुत ज्यादा टेंशन स्ट्रेस आर्ग्यूमेंट करते हुए आप खा रहे हो खाना. ऑल दैट matters because digestion starts in the mouth, and this is the only voluntary action that we can control. आपका chewing, basically your food chewing is the only thing that you can control. So आप अगर अच्छे से नहीं खाएंगे, एक calm state of mind में नहीं खाएंगे, तो वो खाना नहीं digest होगा easily. And if you have esophageal valve problem and the valve is not closing well, or you have low stomach acid, then आपका फूड डाइजेस्ट नहीं होगा, प्रोटीन ब्रेकडाउन नहीं होगा अच्छे से, आपके न्यूट्रिएंट्स अब्सॉर्ब नहीं होंगे, बिकॉज दैट एसिड इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट टू एक्चुअली क्लीव आयरन, बी विटामिन, मैग्नीशियम फ्रॉम इट्स केलेटेड फॉर्म, जो मतलब आपका फूड में जो आता है वो एक बाउंड फॉर्म में आता है. सो स्टमक एसिड इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट टू ब्रेक इट डाउन एंड अलाउ इट टू बी अब्सॉर्ब्ड इनटू आवर सिस्टम. सो वो नहीं होता है. And then because this food is not being broken down well, it goes down and feeds the bad bacteria in the small intestine. आपको bacterial overgrowth हो सकता है, which is called SIBO, small intestinal bacterial overgrowth, and large intestine में dysbiosis हो सकता है, which means you have bad bacteria growing because of the undigested food going down and feeding the microbes in our gut, because of which bloating, gas, flatulence also is very common. And nutrient deficiencies, obviously malnutrition is very common in scleroderma. Weight loss is very common, unexplained weight loss, which is my second last point here. That happens because either you're not able to eat well, अगर आप नहीं chew कर पा रहे ठीक से, अगर आपकी appetite affect हो गई है या आप खाना अंदर नहीं ले पा रहे हैं, then obviously you're not eating enough quantity to give you the nutrients. And for some people, even if they're able to eat well, their digestive system is not working well. The absorption of the nutrients is not happening. The digestion is not happening. And because of that, nutrients are not getting absorbed. So either you're not eating enough or you're not able to process the food that you're eating. And that leads to a lot of nutrient deficiencies, which one needs to deal with through the right kind of supplements or, intravenous nutrients as well sometimes. Cold extremities, obviously, because there's like poor blood circulation, blood vessels are getting constricted and narrowed and hardened. So that also leads to cold extremities. आपके hands cold हो जाते हैं, feet के toes cold हो जाते हैं. So that's a very common sign. Joint and muscle pain, muscle fatigue, muscle wasting, because you're not eating well. There's a lot of muscle that's being broken down. Lung problems, breathing issues, coughing, not able to breathe deeply. That also happens in a lot of people. Hair loss, brittle nails. Obviously, nutrients nahi hai, zinc nahi ja raha hai, iron is not enough. A lot of nutrients, antioxidants are not enough, and there's a lot of oxidative stress in the body. There's a lot of inflammation. So obviously, आपके hair and nails and skin is going to be affected, and recurring infections. So because you have an immune system which is hypervigilant, but at the same time it's weak. It's not able to deal with any pathogens that are coming in at the moment. So there's recurring infections, and you are more prone to getting sick faster. So what is the diet for scleroderma? What is it that we need to do? Well, there is no one diet for scleroderma, because scleroderma, there is so much variability in terms of symptoms and severity from person to person, that एक diet ये ही work करेगा ये कहना would be really wrong, and it would be difficult because every person has different symptoms. So one has to deal with the kind of symptoms you have and then work. But there are certain foundational principles which remain same for all scleroderma patients. And the idea is to reduce inflammation, fight inflammation, and give you enough energy, protein, vitamins, and minerals in the most easily digestible form, putting least uh, pressure or putting too much overload on your gut. Without doing that, we have to give you nutrients which helps you to get healthier, stronger, and give you more energy. And while there are no specific foods or nutrients that can help in reducing collagen production, you can always eat in a way that has a positive impact on your gut, so that you reduce your fatigue, your digestive distress, and inflammation, so that the immune system, which is hypervigilance, starts coming down to normal to a certain extent, whatever is possible, depending on case to case. But yes, at least you will not worsen your symptoms, and eventually you'll be able to manage it and live a healthy and a fulfilling life despite your condition. So the general recommendations for scleroderma is make sure that you eat small frequent meals every 3 to 4 hours to maximize nutrient intake, because अगर आप बहुत ज़्यादा large खाएंगे एक time पे, your body, your digestive system will not be able to digest process. And then what I explained about the indigestion, the SIBO and dysbiosis, we are going to keep feeding that. So consider eating small amounts every 2 to 3 hours to maximize nutrient intake. Definitely choose fresh, wholesome, minimally processed food without preservatives, artificial ingredients, or any sort of hydrogenated oils. Now, ये बहुत important है, because आजकल we are living in the world of convenience foods. We are, that's the culture. Just pick up foods from the supermarket, consume something that's easy to prepare, easy to make, easy to assemble. But these foods actually are really bad for autoimmune conditions, because anyways our body is way too sensitive, and then when ये सारे ingredients हमारे body में जाते हैं, जैसे preservatives, artificial color ingredients, you see all these biscuits, these breads, आप cereals देख ले, आप कोई भी ready to eat cheese, if you go to a supermarket and you see any of these commercial brands, you will, and when you turn the label, you will see a lot of these ingredients जो आपको समझ भी नहीं आते हैं. So, these are ingredient lists which are chemicals, and आप देखेंगे INS numbers लिखे होंगे, INS whatever, ENS, INS, these are all, they are chemical names which are written in short forms, so that obviously, because FSSAI tells it's mandatory for them to add whatever is being added in the product to be mentioned it on the label, but these are the foods we definitely have to avoid. Also, these foods have palm oil because palm oil is a cheaper thing to make processed foods. So जब आप ये खाते हैं, it is highly inflammatory for the body. Any of your excess seed oils, palm oils are very inflammatory for the body. So you need to be very careful of what kind of oil you are choosing. Cold pressed oil, like maybe a little bit of olive oil, but not heating it too much salt for sauteing your veggies or adding it to your cooked food is okay, but not really eating too much of seed oils also. So आपका जैसे sunflower, safflower, ये सारे जो oils हम खाते हैं, they are seed oils, and they are very inflammatory in nature. So we need to make sure that even if we are cooking our food, we are cooking it in cold pressed oil. आप sesame oil ले सकते हैं, though it's a seed oil, but it's a healthier oil because it has a higher smoke point. And especially when we cook these oils, right? These oils become toxic because some oils don't have a high smoke point, and हमारा Indian cooking usually calls for a lot of high heat cooking, pressure cooking, and exposing our food to high heat, and that is not good for our body. So even if you're cooking your food, make sure that you're using less oil and just sauteing and just like cooking it in the least damaging way. So definitely you have to avoid packaged processed foods, the commercial packaged processed foods, which have all of these ingredients, and that will help you stay away from the inflammation or add to the inflammation to your body. Also, I always tell my clients that when you're eating a food, check with yourself, is it grown on a plant or is it made in a plant? And you'll get the answer. So if it's grown on a plant, it's fresh, it's natural, it has the prana, it is cooked by nature. Obviously today everything is also very pesticide and fertilizer loaded and loaded with a lot of chemicals. So if you can opt for organic foods, staples, organic fruits and vegetables can be great. But even if you can't, source out from a good vendor, but eat something that's still grown in nature instead of eating something that's made in a plant by manufacturers, because they are definitely not bothered about your health. They are more bothered about their profits. So you need to be wise and you need to choose wisely for yourself. The next thing is make sure that you include antioxidant and anti-inflammatory herbs and spices such as basil, cinnamon, ginger, turmeric, um, oregano. These are all really nice spices which help you to reduce inflammation in the body. आप अपना basic सौंफ, जीरा, अजवाइन, coriander water सुबह उठ के ले सकते हैं, or you can do a nice ginger lemon water in the morning if you don't have any sensitivity to lemon, or if ginger doesn't give you too much acidity. Then these are the things that you should start your morning with. Definitely no tea, coffee. Definitely no um, any of these stimulating drinks first thing in the morning, because they are very damaging to our gut. They irritate our gut lining and they increase the cortisol in our body. And anyways, our body is under too much stress because of the autoimmune condition. So we don't want that. Apart from that, also colorful fruits and vegetables. You need to eat at least 5 to 6 variety or different colors in your day, including berries, green leafy vegetables, red, orange color fruits and vegetables. So making sure that you're including good quantity of fruits and steamed or cooked vegetables in your diet. That is something that will help us to keep the inflammation down and will also start healing the gut, because now the gut will not feel threatened with the food that's coming in and doesn't have to deal, and doesn't the gut lining doesn't start getting damaged. Make sure that you definitely cut down on sugars. Natural sugar in fruit is not a concern unless you feel uncomfortable with it. But otherwise, natural sugar is okay. But make sure that you check the products that you're buying for ingredients such as sucrose, cane sugar, fructose, brown rice syrup, even honey for that matter, maple syrup, agave, corn syrup. All these are just plain pure sugar, and sugar is highly inflammatory. We don't want to add more fuel to the fire. So we don't want to add more sugar to our diet, because sugar definitely will inflame your gut and will inflame your body and again put your immune system under hypervigilance. And we do not want that. We want it to calm down. So you can definitely do natural sugars. What you can do is you can add date powder. Now, date powder works very well because it's natural, and in the market you get date sugar, date powder. It's the same thing. वो dried dates का powder होता है, जो आप चाहे तो अपने डिजर्ट्स या किसी भी चीज को आपको स्वीटन करना है, आप उसमें डाल सकते हैं. If you're making a porridge, so you're doing an oat porridge in the morning, then you can just add date powder and sweeten it, or you can add chopped dates and raisins to it and sweeten it. All right. Then drink fresh filtered water that has never been exposed to plastic. Make sure that you don't drink out of plastic bottles. Make sure that you are using steel or glass bottles, because plastic has so many chemicals, so many micro chemicals, and these microplastics get leached into the water, especially the Bisleris and the packaged bottled water that we drink. पता नहीं कब पैक हुआ है, पता नहीं कौन से कंडीशन में उसे रखा गया है, especially if it's kept under heat. These It leaches microplastics into the bottle and into the water, and when we consume that, our body again gets inflamed, because again, for the immune system, it's something that's coming in to be dealt with. So we don't want to add that to our system. So you definitely need to make sure that you are getting water from a clean source, no plastic. And I always recommend my clients to have 1 glass water in 1 hour. Try to finish 1 glass water in 1 hour. That way, if you're awake for say 12, 14, 15 hours, whatever, your working hours, you're getting in minimum 10 to 15 glasses of water a day. And that is something that will keep you hydrated throughout the day. But it's not just water. You also need to add electrolytes in your diet, like sodium, potassium, chloride, magnesium, because when we sweat, and when our body is processing and using up the water, it is not just eliminating water, it's eliminating electrolytes with it. So we need to replenish those electrolytes. So having lemon water with a little sea salt in it, or having vegetable juices like celery juice, ashgard juice, that can give you a lot of electrolytes, maybe with lemon and again salt, or amla. So any of this that actually helps you to up your electrolyte level. Also, you have to see how bad your systemic sclerosis is, or your external sclerosis is on the skin, because vitamin C is a collagen producing nutrient. Like, it helps to improve collagen production. Sometimes in some conditions, vitamin C may not be well tolerated, because you already have excess collagen being produced in your body, and we don't want more of that. So that is something that you need to be careful of. So up your nutrition through liquids. Again, you can do smoothies. So you can do fruit smoothies. You can do smoothie bowls. You can have soups. So vegetable soups are a great way to up your nutrition quotient. So just steam all the vegetables and blend them, whatever it is, gajar, beet, dudi, tomato. You can have your lauki in it, some greens in it, and just blend it, and flavor it with little lemon and pepper and salt, and you're good to go, because it is so much nutrition and fiber at one time, but easy on the gut to digest. So your gut doesn't have to do too much work, especially if you're somebody who's been losing too much weight. Then liquid nutrition is something that will help you to get up bring up your calories and give you the energy you need. So if you actually need to improve the calorie count of your liquids, like say, for example, soup, you can add seed powder to it, you can add nut powder to it, you can add dals to it. So that will up your nutrient quotient. Avoid triggers like gluten, dairy, and in some cases, nuts, eggs, and soy. So some people can be allergic to nuts and stuff, so they need to avoid. But what I've seen commonly in my practice, even for Hashimoto's, even for other autoimmune conditions that people come with, uh, gluten and dairy are two foods in the modern world which are really impacting our health in the negative way, because the kind of gluten we are getting is very high on the wheat we are getting is very high on protein gluten, which also has different hybrid modified proteins in it, which is damaging our gut lining, and it's causing a lot of issues like leaky gut, IBS, which is also one of the reasons for autoimmune conditions. So we need to be careful, because if your gut is not healthy, you can actually you can invite autoimmune conditions in your body, or you can worsen them. So you need to be careful of not having intestinal permeability, which is your intestines start leaking, and the holes in their lining start increasing, because of which protein, every food that we are eating starts getting into the systemic circulation, and our immune system thinks that this is a terrorist and I need to fight it, but actually it's just food in the wrong place in the body. You don't need You need nutrients into your circulation. You don't need particles coming into your circulation, because of which autoimmune worsens. So gluten and dairy are definitely two foods. If you want to see some sort of respite in your condition, try eliminating them. You can always replace your wheat with millets today, with good quality organic rice, quinoa. All these are great grains, but definitely keep gluten and dairy out for some time to see how you feel. Focus on gut health, addressing any gut dysbiosis through probiotics, prebiotics, and dietary changes. Like I said, very important to help your gut feel better. So it's important to have herbs which help you digest your food. Like, you can do lemon shots if you're okay with vitamin C. You can do lemon shots after your meal. You can do a little bit of ginger ajwain water after meals to help the food to go down and get going. And it's very carminative also for the gut lining. It's very calming. So it helps you to digest your food. Also, gut dysbiosis probiotics is important. So a good quality spore-based probiotic, which does not get affected by the acid in your stomach and goes down right into your large intestine to help you produce or improve the population of the microbes down there, is very important. So that again, you need to check with your practitioner, whoever you're dealing with, to help you to improve your gut health through prebiotics, probiotics. Prebiotics are just fiber which feed the good bacteria in our gut. So there are a lot of foods which are prebiotic, your oats, apples, bananas, garlic, all these foods, all basically all foods that have fiber help the good bacteria to grow. So you can make sure that you focus on fiber-rich foods and make the right dietary changes that you need. And avoid raw if your gut health is poor, because if you're not able to digest, if you're not able to process the food that's going in, then eating raw will only worsen it, give you more bloating, more indigestion. So for now, eat cooked foods. If you have to take raw, it can be liquid nutrition, it can be smoothies, fruits, or it could be soups or vegetable juices, which are easy to digest. But don't eat too much of raw salads, especially in the monsoons right now, because we really don't know what's happening with the greens. You're just calling in more infection to your body if the greens are not washed well or not produced in the right conditions. So be careful of raw food if it's not for your gut. Make sure that you're not overdoing on that. All right. And then there are certain supplements that you need to, but after checking with your practitioner, after doing the right kind of blood test that you need to do, after checking what deficiencies are there, you need to see what supplements work for you. But there are certain supplements which almost everyone, which is vitamin D, very important for your immune system. So if you're not getting enough sunlight now, especially in the monsoons, there's no good sun, your vitamin D status is definitely going to be affected. So check the levels, and we don't want our vitamin D to be below 30, which or between 30 and 40, like they say, okay, that's a sufficient amount. We want it to be between 40 and 60, because a good amount of vitamin D can help the immune system repair, recover, and improve its functioning. So we want vitamin D. But if you're taking vitamin D, do not take it without K2, and definitely do not take it without magnesium, because magnesium is used up by vitamin D for conversion. So if you're taking vitamin D supplement at a very high dose at one time, possibility is that you can become deficient in magnesium. We don't want that, because magnesium again for you is very important for the connective tissues, for every cell of your body, for your nerve health, for your gut health. Magnesium is important. So we want to make sure that we are supplementing with good magnesium if we are taking D3. Omega 3 again is absolutely good for everybody. I usually believe in a plant-based omega-3 because I'm a vegan myself. But fish oil, if you're taking, then make sure that it's sourced out from the right place, because the fish oil today again contains heavy metals like your mercury, lead, because that's the part of the sea, and the fish is basically ingesting all those metals because of all the chemical load that's getting into the sea. So that can affect and impact our health, and it can impact our liver and worsen our autoimmune conditions. So you can actually buy a good quality, clean algal omega-3, which comes from the algae of the seabed. And that is cleaner than some of the most fish oil brands that are available in the market. Probiotics, like I said, for your good gut health. So taking a good quality probiotic. Antioxidants, again, if vitamin C suits you, but otherwise vitamin E is a fantastic antioxidant to combat oxidative stress. Again, a good quality, not something like an Evian, not the synthetic one, but a better quality. There are brands out in the market who are doing good quality vitamin E supplements. Also get more vitamin E from your seeds. Like seeds are amazing: pumpkin seeds, sunflower seeds, your sesame seeds. Roast them, grind them into a powder, or make them into a laddu with dates, and that's something that you can have, and you're getting more seeds into your system, which has a lot of vitamin E. Again, um, selenium is important, so you can have one Brazil nut in a day. So if you're not allergic to nuts, then one Brazil nut, soak it, have it. It's one of the best sources of selenium. And for, of course, most patients, zinc supplement works well. Vitamin B12 is something one needs to check and improve. Magnesium, like I said, digestive enzymes is a great supplement. If your digestive system is weak and poor, then it helps the body to give additional enzymes from the supplement to improve the digestion. So that needs to be taken in between your lunch and dinner. So when you're eating, after 2 bites, you take the enzyme and continue eating. That supports your digestive system, that supports your pancreas, because we have enzymes coming in from our gut lining, and we also have it coming from our pancreas. So sometimes the pancreas could be affected because of scleroderma. Sometimes the gut lining could be affected. We don't know. But if you have digestive issues, then taking a good quality digestive enzyme really works. Again, evening primrose oil, or GLA as we call it, gamma linolenic acid, that again helps to lower inflammation. So it's a great nutrient. But again, I'm not saying everything is for everyone. This is just to educate you that these are certain things that can help you to improve your health depending on where your blood status is, where your, how your autoimmune condition is, and what are your symptoms. Also, specific nutrients to combat deficiencies. So if there's something specific that's missing, once you know in the test is when you can always supplement it. Lifestyle changes that I definitely recommend my autoimmune patients to focus on, and these are non-negotiables, is stress management techniques, so breath work, meditation, journaling. Very important, because yes, there is an immune hypervigilance, like we said. Yes, there is the body physiologically is going through something, but psychologically we don't want to add in more trauma and more stress into the body. So we want to make sure that we are dealing with our stress on day-to-day basis, because already the condition is adding to a lot of stress. It makes us feel definitely not, it makes us feel like the odd man out. Why are we going through this? What is happening to us? Why can't I live a normal life? A lot of these kind of thoughts come in. So you can also take therapy, but I would definitely recommend having a certain practice in place to manage your stress on day-to-day basis. Regular exercise tailored to your individual capabilities, so Pilates, yoga, any restorative form. I would not recommend you to do any intense workout because your body is under stress. So you definitely can do brisk walking, swimming, anything that's light. Light weight training is okay under supervision. Obviously, you have to up your protein intake depending on how your digestion is. Eating good quality proteins will help you to improve your muscle mass and strengthen your muscle, which is already wasted because of the autoimmune condition. So making sure that you are consuming good quality protein, but again depends. So some people who can't, then clean protein shakes work well. If you're a non-vegetarian, then doing, soft eggs. But because there's so much inflammation, I usually ask my patients to reduce non-veg for some time, and then I always try incorporating protein from plant-based sources for them. Adequate and deep sleep is very important. Restful sleep is extremely important for you to heal. Good 7 to 8 hours of sleep, and not just 7 to 8 hours, at the right time. It's important. So sleeping at, say, 10 or 11 at night and waking up at like 7 in the morning, 6 or 7, or maybe at 5 to meditate, because that's the Brahma Muhurta. That's the time when you wake up and you meditate. Your meditation is the most, it's most deep, and you really connect to your inner self very well when you meditate at that time. So adequate deep sleep, periods of active rest through the day. So not being on this go, 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 do culture, taking periods of rest, taking every 1 hour, taking a break to breathe, taking a break to reflect, taking a break to relax, maybe listening to some music or pursuing some hobby activities. But active rest is extremely important. Epsom salt baths or foot soaks can be done if you don't have any active wound on your leg or on your body. So it's external magnesium that's going into your skin cells, which actually is very relaxing for your nerves and for your muscles. And lymphatic massages can really help with circulation, because it can help to release the lymph and to get the lymph moving, to release all the toxins which are being held up in the body. So these are few things that came on top of my mind when I was making this presentation, and I really had to share it with you all. But if there's anything else, you can always connect with me. This is my number. The QR code connects me. You can connect with me on Instagram, and I'll be happy to help. So yeah, please take good care of yourself, and I'm very grateful for having me here to be with you all.